Can hemorrhoids lead to cancer in your rectum? Well, that is actually a great question. Missing hands, can hemorrhoids cause cancer? And what the heck are these mysterious round spots? Buckle up, because today we're tackling some of the wildest and most bewildering medical questions on the internet. Brace yourselves, this might get a little weird. All right, let's dive right in. Why do some people have outie belly buttons and some have innies? I'm an innie. Where my team innie at? Okay, so belly buttons is also called your navel, right? It's where our umbilical cord attaches to our body when we're inside the uterus, inside the womb, and it's literally how we get our oxygen, our nutrients, everything from our mom to us while we're in the womb. But then the question ends up being is, why do some people have an outie and why do some people have an innie? Well, it just has to do with how the stump of the umbilical cord after it's cut off heals. Okay, so baby comes out, you need to cut the umbilical cord, so you clamp and then you just cut so you don't have any significant bleeding and you leave that clamp on, and basically it's how the individual heals. If you get a brain freeze from eating ice cream too quickly, could you reverse it by quickly eating something hot?
I got that brain freeze.
When you get brain freeze, it has to do with nerves and blood vessels relating to the roof of the mouth. So could you then put something hot in your mouth? Yeah, it could potentially reverse it or stabilize it. But what ends up happening, I just don't want individuals to like burn their mouth. So probably a little bit safer way to do this is with a clean thumb. You just push on the roof of your mouth into that area. So you have the warmth of your thumb or your finger and then the compression of the nerve in that area, and it will decrease that firing. Next question, what is an appendix and does it prevent diarrhea? So great question. So what is an appendix? An appendix is what we kind of call a vestigial organ or piece of our intestine. We always thought it was not important, just get rid of it and it's fine. But now we found that there is some benefit of the appendix when it comes to gut health. But can you live without it? Yes. But if you do get an infection of the appendix, we get rid of it. And then the other part of this question is, does it prevent diarrhea? No, it does not. But if the appendix pops, then you got diarrhea basically into your abdominal cavity, which then can lead to sepsis and death. So hopefully you don't have that happen. Every time I eat spicy food, my face turns red and I start sweating. Is this an allergic reaction or just my body handling the heat? Also, considering the skin is an external organ, why does something I eat affect it so visibly? Your face turns red and you sweat due to eating spicy food is actually a normal response. It is not the same as an allergic reaction. That is a different response that has to do with your immune system and your antibodies responding, and it's a lot more complex. So yes, when you have a reaction, the skin is part of your body. It's got nerve endings related with blood vessels. And so the vasodilation, contraction, as well as your sweat glands are all interactive within your system. So there's a lot of your response relating to your skin. Do the hands of pianists actually get longer than other people's hands? If so, how does it work?
Hold it. This is getting confusing.
So no, the hands of a pianist do not get longer, your fingers do not grow, but they become more skilled and dexteric and flexible, meaning because of all the actions that the hands do, they can spread out further, they have much more control of the muscles and how they move and the mobility of the joints themselves. So it gives the perception that they might be moving further or longer, but it's just their ability to control them a lot better than somebody who doesn't have that dexterity. I do play the piano. How many people out there can play the piano, and what's your favorite song to play on the piano? Let me know in the comments. Can hemorrhoids lead to cancer in your rectum? So first off, what is a hemorrhoid? Hemorrhoid, we have internal hemorrhoids versus external hemorrhoids. So internal hemorrhoids bleed like stink. External hemorrhoids hurt like stink. Okay, so you can have both. Then the question is, are hemorrhoids cancerous? No, they are not cancerous. But a hemorrhoid and rectal cancer can have similar symptoms, such as pain if they're external, bleeding and irritation down there, as well as some swelling. So just get checked out if you're having something abnormal. I hate sneezing, to be honest. Is holding your sneezes potentially dangerous? Well, holding your sneezes is not probably the best thing. You're trying to be nice and not spit on everybody, but you increase the risk of perforating your ears, popping some blood vessels in your eyes and your face, a bunch of different things that you don't want. Literally, I've seen people who stifle the sneeze after like facial injury, and then they get subcutaneous air in their tissue and their face swells up, so not good. So if you're gonna sneeze like this, or and then make sure that you wash your hands thereafter. If it was a true emergency type situation and you're not near a hospital and you crack your head open, could you use a household stapler instead of medical staples? Could you use it? No, it wouldn't actually work the same way, okay? So what ends up happening is the device that the staple gun at my work uses at the hospital, it actually comes around the wound and makes a rectangle basically, versus if you were just to use a staple, it actually just shoots right in. So no, please do not use a household staple to try to close up wounds. What I have suggested in the past, if you do have a scalp laceration from a head injury and you don't have access to this stuff, you could use your own hair around the wound and tie it if it's long enough, but do your best to get help. Is it true that if you eat too much licorice, it can be bad for your health? My grandpa told me that, and I don't know if I believe him.
If there's anything I'm a sucker for, it's licorice.
So, consuming too much licorice, yes, could be harmful. It contains glycyrrhizin, which can cause your potassium to go down. So if your potassium goes down too much, then you can have all different processes in your body go awry, but the biggest thing you worry about is cardiac arrhythmias. So please don't eat too much licorice. Can wearing tight underwear affect a man's fertility by overheating the testicles?
Is it bad?
Yes. Wearing the classic tighty whities could cause, if they're too tight, your testicles to heat up and might not be at the optimal temperature for sperm chilling out and being made kind of thing. So sometimes wearing tighty whities is actually beneficial if somebody has, say, an infection where you have epididymitis or orchitis. These are infections of your testicle or your epididymis. Then having support is quite helpful, but I would advise not wearing tighty whities all the time. Next question. Are bodies really negative pressure? How does that work? I'm asking because I had a friend get something stuck in their body somewhere and they said it was because of negative pressure. So yes, we are negative pressure.
Sucky. Oh, yes. That is marvelous how that...
Think about it. When you breathe, you don't really work hard to like suck the air in. It's like, it just flows in. Same thing with your butt and your rectum. It is negative pressure down there. So that is why you need to push when you're having a bowel movement to get it out. We see it often enough where people accidentally lose foreign bodies up their rectum because they go to a certain distance and then there's a negative pressure pull up and they kind of just get sucked up. Please be careful. What the heck? I have sudden round red spots on my arm and near my groin area. What should I do? Okay, well, it's pretty hard to diagnose what round red spots are. Could it be a hive or an allergic reaction spot? Could it be psoriasis? Could it be candidiasis, which is a yeast or fungal infection? Or could it be ringworm, which is another type of fungus out there? So a couple different things. We'd need to be able to look at it, take photos of these things, and show your primary care doctors. If I accidentally eat a lot of seeds, like from an apple or watermelon, could they start growing inside my stomach because of the warmth and moisture? Or could anything grow inside of a human like this? So no, seeds do not grow inside of our stomach. It's the acidic environment, so it does not. But you gotta be careful. Please don't eat too many seeds because there's issues relating to cyanide, but you have to eat a lot of seeds. But again, a few seeds are typically okay. And could anything else grow inside your body? I mean, parasites, right? There's different types of worms that could get in there. So I've had individuals accidentally or on purpose stick potatoes inside their bodies in places they shouldn't have been, and then the potato starts to sprout and grow inside. Please don't do that. It's almost the 4th of July, and I once burnt my hand on a firework. Have you ever seen a missing hand or other bad firework injury? Yes, almost every single year. We see people who have blast injuries to their hands, their face, their heads because of the misuse and the misguidance of using fireworks. So if you do use a firework, make sure that you get expert help with this. Please be careful. So 4th of July, fireworks, going to be a lot of noise and fun. Some people want to sleep, but because of the loud noises, you may need a little extra support. That is why I came up with my supplement called Do Not Disturb. Do Not Disturb has a balance of magnesium supplement in it to help calm the body, as well as multiple other good body relaxation, sleep promoting ingredients. Definitely check it out. Do Not Disturb. Is it normal to leak urine when I laugh, sneeze, or exercise? Normal? No, not normal. Is it horribly abnormal? Probably not. But if you're a male, you're going to a urologist. If you're a female, typically you're going to an OBGYN. And basically you need to see, is it your pelvic floor muscles that are causing the issue? Is it the bladder? A lot of different things that can happen, but the most common reason for somebody to have leaky urine is actually after you've had a baby and you've delivered, the muscles of the pelvic floor have been stretched out, and so it doesn't hold the urine in as well. So great question. Hopefully you don't have that problem or any of these other problems that are out here, but I appreciate you guys asking me these questions. So if you guys enjoyed this, definitely check out this playlist right here. And as always, make sure you subscribe, turn your bell notifications on, and hit that like button for me. Thank you so much for watching, and stay healthy, my friends.